So here we're asked to work out 2 1/7 plus 1 1/4. So here we're working with two different fractions, and these fractions are mixed numbers because they contain numbers and then a fraction as well. So when we're adding these mixed numbers together, we can kind of take the number part and the fraction part and work with them separately. So if I look here, we have 2 1/7 plus 1 1/4. So basically, in this calculation, we're going to be doing 2 plus 1 plus 1/7 plus 1/4. And that just helps work it out a little bit more easily because we can take the 2 plus 1, bracket that, and then we can add these on separately. So we can do the 2 plus 1 to get 3. So it's basically going to be 3 plus 1/7 plus 1/4. And now we just need to add 1/7 and 1/4, and then we can leave the answer in the form of a mixed number, 3, and then a fraction. So to add 1/7 and 1/4, these two fractions have different denominators. So we're going to be looking to convert them into a similar form so they have a common denominator so that we can add their numerators. Now in order to do this, we need to find the lowest common multiple. So the LCM of the denominators, so 7 and 4. And in this case, it's just going to be 7 multiplied by 4 because there's no lower common denominator of 7 and 4. So 7 multiplied by 4 is going to be 28. So this is going to be the common denominator that we work with. So I can then take this common denominator, and if we have 1/7 and we need to multiply that by something to get 28, we've multiplied it by 4 over 4. So 1 multiplied by 4 is going to give us 4. And this side's also multiplied by 4. So we have 4 over 28. And then 1/4 is equal to, we've multiplied that by 7. So we're going to multiply the top by 7 as well. And that gets us 7 over 28. So to add 1/7 and 1/4, we're going to basically add 4 over 28 and 7 over 28. And because we've got common denominator of 28 here, we can simply add the numerators. So 7 plus 4 to get us 11 over 28. And then if we look back, we've got this original 3 that we need to add on as well. So the final answer here is going to be 3 and 11 over 28. And that's going to be the answer written in the form of a mixed number. We could convert this into an improper fraction, a top-heavy fraction, but this is still going to get us both of the marks here. We gain the first mark for the majority of the working out, so converting the fractions, and then the final mark for getting the correct final answer here at the end. I'm now asked to work out 1 1/5 divided by 3/4, and I'm also asked to give my answer as a mixed number in its simplest form in this question. So firstly, I can see here that in the question I have a mixed number, and I'm going to be dividing this by just a normal fraction. So it's probably a good idea here to start by converting this mixed number into a simple fraction, which in this case is going to be an improper fraction. So if we have 1 1/5 and we want to convert that into an improper fraction, if we have a integer of 1, we have basically 5 over 5. So that's going to be 1. And then we can add on this 1/5 as well, and that's going to get us 6 over 5. So 1 1/5 is basically equal to 6 over 5, and that's an improper fraction. And so now we have 6 divided by 5, and that's going to be divided by 3/4. Now when we're dividing a fraction by another fraction, we can just multiply this fraction by the reciprocal of the second fraction. So 1 over whatever the second fraction is. So that in this case is going to give us 6 divided by 5. And then we multiply that by the reciprocal of 3/4. So we swap the denominator and the numerator, and we get 4 over 3. And now we've got a simple multiplication to work with, and when we're multiplying two fractions, we can just multiply the numerators and the denominators separately. So 6 multiplied by 4 is going to be over 5 multiplied by 3. So that leaves us with 24 over 15. Now if we look back to the question, it's asked us to give our answer as a mixed number. And here we have our answer as an improper fraction. So we're going to have to convert this improper fraction into a mixed number. Now if I look at how many lots of 15 go into 24, we have one lot of 15 and then a remainder which is going to be 24 minus 15, and then that's going to be over 15. So that's how we're going to convert this improper fraction back into a mixed number. So we have one lot of 15 and then this remainder of 9, which is going to be out of 15. So 1 and 9 over 15. And we also need to check that this is in its simplest form. So do 9 and 15 have any common factors which we could use to simplify the fraction? And yes, in fact, they do have a common factor, which in this case is going to be 3. So if we divide the top and the bottom of the fraction we have here by 3, we're going to be left with 1 and 3 over 5. And that is going to be the correct answer and gain us the second mark, which is for the answer. And then the first mark is going to be for the working out and the correct working out stages throughout this question.